Hello my friends and welcome to my closet. This is Deanna with Adventures of Deanna, and today I want to talk about the book Chasing Cupcakes. I kind of got away from talking about Chasing Cupcakes in my last couple of weigh-in videos, so I thought maybe I would make it its own video series. So today we're going to talk about chapter 5 and chapter 6 of Chasing Cupcakes. This is more going to be like a stream of consciousness. So because I am a Gemini and because I am a woman, I am able to change my thoughts and feelings about anything that I say in this video. Talking about chapter 5 and chapter 6. So chapter 5 was about barriers to change, and chapter 6 was about the stories that we tell ourselves, and these are kind of, in my opinion, a little bit entwined. So barriers to change are more about the habits that we have. So like, what is in the way, what's making this hard, what's the resistance to change, what can I do about it, these different things. What is in the way? What is the resistance to change? What can I do about it? Barriers to change. So maybe some of those things are how you think about yourself. Are you a person that always starts and stops? Are you an all or nothing type of person? Are you go hard in the beginning and then you quit? Do you describe yourself as over emotional? These different things. And this ties in with limiting beliefs. Some of these things that we think about ourselves can be limiting beliefs, and they kind of stall us or thwart our progress. Chapter 6 was stories that sabotage us. So what different thoughts are in your head that are creating stories, things that you tell yourselves, and these are kind of like patterns that we might have. What it is saying is that your inner dialogue creates your entire existence, the stories that you tell yourself. We need to realize the impact that our thoughts and our stories are having on our lives. So that's a lot of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reflect upon who I am, what my habits are, the things that I do, and how they affect me and my weight loss. So as I was kind of pondering these things about, habits and barriers to change and stories that affect my life, if you look back at my past videos, you're going to see that I talk a lot about being a slow loser, that I lose weight slowly. If I say that repeatedly to myself, I'm kind of giving myself the instruction that it's okay to lose weight slowly. I'm re-emphasizing that slow weight loss is the way to go in my brain subconsciously on a deeper level. And I think that can be true. There's also these stories that I tell myself about how or I don't know if it's a habit or if it's a story, but either way, the cats are playing on the other side of the camera, by the way, just so you know. There's a story that I tell myself, or a habit that I have, of not advocating for myself. I don't always speak up for myself. I don't always speak up for what it is that I need, what I want, what my desires are. And when I do this, I kind of stuff that emotion down and just kind of say F it and go along with the flow, so to say. So these are things for me to ponder. These are things to think about. These are things for me to think about, well, what can I do to change these things? How can I show up better for myself? How can I be a better advocate for myself? How can I change the story about being, a slow loser? I'm a people pleaser. I like to please people, but then at the detriment of myself. How can I change that habit? That's a big thing, because once I get to my weight loss goal, if I don't solve this problem on the way down, once I get to my weight loss goal. If I'm just focused on me and myself, and once I get down to maintenance, that problem is still going to get there. So I need to solve it on the way down. I need to solve this issue before I get there. Or I could wait and do it once I get there, but I think it'll be easier if I start trying to solve for these habits like now and here. Another story that I like to tell myself is that I don't like to exercise. And it's a completely untrue story, because I love to exercise. I love to take my dog for the morning walk. I find that completely enjoyable. I love to dance. My husband makes fun of me all the time because whenever I am cleaning the house, I like to pump up the pop music and I am dancing and cleaning at the same time. So the fact that I'm saying that I don't like to exercise, it's total nonsense. It's malarkey. It's BS. It's something that, it's a story that I tell myself, but I know that it isn't true. So I need to rework that inner dialogue, because in some subconscious level, again, I'm telling myself I don't like exercise. So whenever I think, oh, it's time to exercise, I'm like, oh, I don't like exercise. But the truth of it is that I really do like exercise. So I need to reinforce that conversation in my head versus the one where I'm telling myself that I don't exercise. Another habit that I have that affects my weight loss that I can work on, and it's another story that I tell myself, it's another limiting belief, is that I don't like to meal prep. Well, I do like to plan my meals out. I like to have a schedule. I like to know exactly what I'm eating. I like to have these things ready for me. But I tell myself this story in my head that I don't like meal prep, and then it prevents me from meal prepping. But then I know that meal prepping is good for me. So I'm constantly working against myself with these habits, with these stories, with these things that I do. So how do I make these changes? And it's just reframing in my brain and telling myself that's the way that I used to think, that's something that I used to do, and coming up with other tips and strategies. So number one, I think that the biggest step that is here is doing this self-reflection, taking a look inside and seeing what are these barriers to change, what are these stories to change, stories that I'm telling myself, and then identifying what they are and then working on changing them. Love this book. It's Chasing Cupcakes by Elizabeth Benton, and it really gives me the questions that I need to be asking myself. It gives me the thought process in order to sit down, take a look at who I am inside. I don't know if any of this really, resonates with you or not. If it does, please leave me a comment down below. But this is important work that I think that needs to be done. I know that a lot of weight loss is done in the kitchen, but I think that a lot of the work is done up here. I've lost the weight before, but then whenever I stopped actively trying to pursue that, whenever I wasn't 100% focused on that, the weight came back on. So I want to take care of all these things that are going on in my head and try and solve for them so that once I get to maintenance, I've got a healthier foundation to work on maintenance with. So that's what I'm doing with Chasing Cupcakes. Reading this book, trying to be reflective about who I am, trying to find out those things that are running in my head. How do I fix those? Let me know if you think this was helpful at all. I'm going to keep doing these as a separate video instead of doing them in my weekly weight loss report. That way, if, this kind of work doesn't interest you at all, don't watch the video. I'll have a picture. It'll say Chasing Cupcakes in the description. If you don't want to watch these videos, don't watch them. But if you do like them, go ahead and watch them. Give me a thumbs up, click like, subscribe to my channel if you want to follow me along on my weight loss journey. As always, it's going to be an adventure. This is Deanna. See you soon. Bye.